Hi, this is Agony Myers, and you are watching Agony Does Not Perform. Hi. I know it's been a minute since I've done anything for this channel or posted anything. Since the last thing that I shot, the Me Search video, which, split up into three pretty long videos. I completed my last year of grad school and graduated with my master's degree. I taught for the first time. After graduating, I moved to Indiana with a friend and struggled to find work, and then eventually found a job in a different town in Indiana, and I made a boyfriend. I kind of encountered some health issues and just kind of other things that were going on. I gained some friends and lost some friends and this, that, and the other thing. But yeah, it's like, so that's why I really haven't been able to make any more content, but I've been wanting to so bad. So here I am. What I'm going to do today is create a mask that I've been kind of wanting to do. I don't know if anybody has seen the Rob Zombie movie Devil's Rejects. In it, there's a scene where a man is killed and his face is, cut off, and then Otis comes in, just kind of like using it as a Halloween mask and spooking, Baby and Captain Spaulding and the one victim that's left. And the man whose face it is, that victim's husband. So when, all the killers and everybody leave, they leave that woman behind, like wearing her husband's face, like tied up to the door. And later on, she spooks the maid with it and, can't speak because she's still gagged, and just kind of, runs crazily like through the motel and eventually gets smashed by a truck. I've been kind of wanting to do that look, for the longest time. I feel like it's like simple, and then it's like a really specific reference. And then I also kind of like that, in a way it kind of plays with gender a little bit, because it's, like a woman wearing a man's face, like with facial hair. And I feel like it's perfect for me. I would like to try to make that kind of like a more masculine sort of looking face with liquid latex and just kind of paint it so we could just see how it turns out. As you can see, I kind of already have my eyebrows glued down. It's kind of, they're not totally covered up. Like if I were doing drag makeup, I'd probably want to do another layer of this, a lot of glue along with like makeup to just make my eyebrows blend in with the rest of my face. But since I'm using latex, for those of you who aren't familiar with latex, you really don't want to get it in your hair because it clumps up and gets stuck and everything like that and gets messy. So yeah, so that's really why I covered up my eyebrows, because the latex is going to cover up everything. But yeah, I just didn't want my latex mixing with my eyebrows and having to pluck or shave them off or anything like that. So I have the latex here, and I'm going to get started. And I have some tissues because that's just a good way of building up, like texture and everything like that. Combine a layer with latex with tissues. So yeah, so I'm just going to start applying the latex. But yeah, it's like, when Devil's Rejects came out, it was just such like a big kind of thing for my friends and I when it did, just because we loved House of Thousand Corpses. And yeah, it's like, we're just huge fans of Rob Zombie. And and then something about this scene that I'm referencing is like, I don't know, it just kind of really resonates with me, because I remember as my friends and I were awaiting the release of this movie so we could see it in theaters, FX had like a sneak preview of the movie, like something that you don't necessarily see in like a trailer. Like it's just, like a good, 5 minutes of the movie. And this was the scene it showed. Like it just started with the creepy abandoned motel in like the middle of the desert, and this girl with a mask on and wearing her husband's like big shirt chasing like a maid out into the desert, and runs around and everything, and then gets hit by the truck. With that ambiguity, like we're wondering what the hell is going on, like was she gonna be another killer or something like that? Like in addition to, the cast that was established in the first one, that's just kind of clumsy and gets hit by a truck, really didn't know. And like, I just feel like that was a really smart clip for them to have. starting the layer, the tissue. Yeah, so the first mask that I make, so bear with me. There we go, that's something. Give myself pig nose. Just kind of want to keep layering on my nose, just to kind of make it look a little bigger, pointier. Yeah, I'm not very good at molding, so this is looking kind of chunky. Whatever, that severed skin must look somewhat like just kind of like rotting and, you know, like untextured and everything. I mean, one thing Rob Zombie always got wrong with whenever he has like, you know, characters like being skinned, people wearing their skin, is he always just makes it look like super, like, you know, the face look like super textured and structured, I guess, so, you know, so the audience can kind of tell who, you know, who was skinned and everything like that. But then again, like, I mean, if you rip somebody's face off, like, you know, they're it's just gonna look like skin. Like, it's not gonna look like the actual person that much. Face is coming off. No, I don't need a hand, dear. I need a face. Piling on layers here. I just decided that I think what I should do is, like, once I kind of get this base going, is to just kind of go do like another once over to try to smooth over everything. So yeah, so the texture isn't this bumpy. Yeah, it's so interesting. Moving to Indiana from, you know, Texas, like just living in Texas my whole life, like growing up in El Paso and going to school in San Marcos. Because yeah, I mean, case in point, yeah, it went down to negative 17 degrees last night, which, you know, is just something that you never see in Texas. In Texas, a cold day is like shit in the 40s, like maybe the 30s. Just always been fascinated with like killers who like take people's faces off and use them as masks, like Leatherface. Like, I don't know, there's just something, you know, just kind of psychologically, like, you know, just kind of scary. Like, I think people are just naturally scared of masks. Wearing somebody's face as a mask just kind of is just, you know, that much more unnerving. Just, you know, the fact that you obviously killed somebody and you're taking their face off and wearing it as your own, and it's never, you know, like a pretty or glamorous process. It's just, you know, like kind of like a horrific sort of way of, like, you know, being that other person, and also just kind of desecrating their corpse in that way. Just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna use your skin as my own kind of costume. Yeah, so I'm already kind of halfway done with the smoothing process. So after that, I could get to painting the face, which is something I look forward to more, because that's just fun. I love to paint. I'm a drag queen after all. I just remember for a technical writing class, like we had to do a like instructional kind of manual for something. And I mean, of course, the teacher I had was like, super into technology. And so he was expecting us to do something like that, like how to do something like digitally. And I'm like, I mean, I'm not that technologically able. So what I wanted to do was effects makeup of like how to do burns on the face. And I really had fun with that project, but I could tell that, my teacher didn't want to discourage me or say that I can't do it because there was nothing really in the instructions that told me, like, that it had to be something technology related or anything. But, I got to do that and it was like really fun. And, it was just something just totally different and unexpected from like what any of my classmates did. I don't know, like one thing with being into horror movies and like doing like horror effects makeup and everything like that is like that was always like an easy way for me to kind of talk to straight guys, because I mean I'm just already socially awkward, and it's only really easy for me to talk to people who I have a lot of things in common with, and we have some kind of common ground. Like, I mean, straight guys are just never really my demographic. Like, I just never, I was always just uncomfortable around them and wouldn't know what kinds of common ground to share with. But one thing that I learned that I could kind of use to talk to them and to show them effects makeup that I do, because they're always seem intrigued by it, like where most girls will kind of be grossed out. The guys will be like, oh my god, that's so cool, like can you do something for me like that, like for Halloween or some shit. And yeah, it's like, so I just kind of learned that it's like, yeah, this is an interesting way to kind of connect with straight guys. Okay, so now that I have a base for my mask, I want to start painting it to make it look a little bit more human, because I don't know if you could see it in this lighting here, but it's kind of like a weird, like whitish, yellowish kind of color. I mean, if you ever look at a rubber glove that isn't blue, or some other color, or a condom that isn't colored, latex, when it dries, it's just like some weird, like kind of whitish, yellowish color that doesn't reflect any human skin color. So I'm just kind of going in here with some cheap concealer that I have, hoping that it could at least make me look a little bit more fleshy, and kind of lathering all this on here. It's a very liquidy sort of thing, so it's really good for smudging all over. Yeah, see, now that's looking a little bit more human, a little less condom, so that's good. Okay, so there's the foundation. I guess now I just kind of have to highlight and contour a little. That's going to be a little interesting because, I mean, I'm doing a woman wearing a man's face, so yeah, so I'm not necessarily trying to look like a drag queen or anything like that with this highlight and contour, but I just don't want one flat color for this face, because I mean that would make it look a lot more fake. And I don't want to put too much focus on the forehead here. I put a little bit of contour, but yeah, I mean, one thing about with man faces and everything is they typically have bigger heads and bigger faces, and like broader foreheads. So I don't want to bring the forehead down too much. I mostly want to contour these edges here. And yeah, it's like I want to contour the nose, but that is also something, because I don't really want to make the nose look smaller or anything. Like, actually, I'm going to try using this face paint here to get a little bit more of a more like distinct shadows and everything in here, because powder alone is not really doing it for me. Yeah, so I'm Just kind of painting this along the edge here to just create a little bit of a shadow without like making the nose look smaller. Just need very subtle shading, just give some contrast and texture without feminizing the face. Yeah, see, that's kind of looking a little bit scarier. Yeah, I mean, some of this is looking kind of just like straight up like dirt on the face, everything, which is kind of okay, but yeah, I'm gonna blend all of this out once I'm done. I just kind of want to get, some colors in here and shading and all of that. Yeah, I think at this point I should probably draw in the eyebrows. Now I'm gonna do the highlight, which, once again, should be subtle. Everybody generally has a highlight and contour because it's just the way the light hits the face. So again, I'm not trying to feminize the face by making it look like smaller or anything like that. So I'm using kind of more white just across the forehead, just to make the forehead look broader. Now I'm just gonna go over with some cheap foundation that I have just to sort of, blend and set everything. All right, so that's pretty much it for painting. What I'm gonna do is carefully pull this off my face, and I'll be right back just to kind of show you what the finished product looks like after I take it off. So I will see you momentarily. All right, so I'm back from making my mask. No, this isn't a mask, this is my actual face. Please shut the fuck up. But yeah, so after some, face peeling American Psycho kind of action, out came the finished product. This isn't really that good, but I mean, I am sort of proud of myself because this is, the first mask I've ever made, like just completely from scratch. And I think this will definitely serve its purpose for that look that I want to do. So I want to do that full look for my next video. So that was my video. I hope you guys are as excited as I am for me being back again. Hopefully where I am now is a little bit more stable and permanent, and so I could keep doing these sorts of videos because I love doing it. Before I go, just, thank you for watching. Please, like, comment, subscribe, etc. I know I don't have many followers, especially since I haven't done anything in over a year. So, yeah, so, hopefully I could get back into the groove of doing all this stuff and everything like that. And yeah, hopefully I could, interact with more of you and everything like that. Yeah, bye.